Why did you give Eilert Lovborg the pistol? And what conclusion will people draw from the fact that you did give it to him?
That Hedda Gabler is a story that we can think is incredibly complex, but at the end of the day, it's a woman who wants out. We create these theatrical experiences that we want to be a full sensory ride. In that, we thought, this isn't just about the oral experience at all. Let's make sure that we invite the deaf community because we want to welcome everybody onto the ride.
All of this business about domestic handicrafts in the Middle Ages?
And then all this business about domestic crafts in the Middle Ages.
It really is just too revolting.
I was gonna say that really revolting.
School of Theater collaborates with deaf and hard of hearing services to make the shows accessible by providing American Sign Language interpreters.
Now, how do you say never?
Never.
Straight out, never.
Dennis Stillahunt is the ASL coach. Emily and I have been working very closely with him to give us guidance in terms of our language use so that the deaf audience has an experience comparable to that of the hearing audience by looking at specific lines in the play that maybe would be difficult to translate or maybe have a certain metaphorical content.
It's also helpful to have somebody that can't hear what the actors are saying. As a hearing person, I don't necessarily have that detachment, so it's good to have that extra layer of feedback.
I loved how you tied the vine leaf.
Vine leaves for her is the beauty of life that she can't quite get to.
I can see it now. With vine leaves in his hair, fiery and bold.
But interpreting it is really tricky. Do we make it very clear and just tell the audience the meaning, or do we sort of hide it under the language and preserve that line the same way you would a line in Shakespeare's famous plays?
We make a really big effort in this show to portray every emotion visually. So I was talking to the ASL interpreters and they were saying that it's easier in some ways for them because the emotional content is not just being carried by the text.
At the end of Act 3, Hedda is burning Eilert Lovborg's manuscript. And what she says is, I'm burning your child, Thea.
I'm burning your child, Thea!
It's also a really poetic moment, so, you know, we don't want to have the ASL equivalent of burning a child.
Because Hedda is experiencing many different emotions. Will make all of the different emotions sing and combine them all into one fluid movement.
Typically in interpreted productions, almost always you'll have more than two characters on stage. That creates kind of a quandary for an interpreter. How do you clearly present these people interacting? Not only is there a body movement to show that transition from person to person, but there's also a change in the character of how you sign. So George Tesman, for example, he's kind of a nervous person, but he's also very meticulous, so that his signs, they need to be precise.
I heard them too, and yet I could swear he went right home to bed last night. Imagine.
And that's very different from Brack, where he's a little bit more in control, he's a little bit more open and upright.
Suppose I were to tell you that he was found shot in Mademoiselle Diana's boudoir.
It's been a really interesting experience to try and incorporate those elements of character into how I'm signing.
My husband never knew I was coming in here.
Just think how exciting!
Nothing about last night.
Oh, it has me out of my mind.
Companionship and a thirst for life.
For once in my life, I want to have control.
Interpreted theater is so important. It's not only for the deaf and hard of hearing people, it adds so much to the creative aspect of a show.